And I'm joined now by the lovely Louisa Bradshaw White. Good morning.
Good morning, and you're doing perfectly.
I'm trying my best here. I can see your lovely face. No one else can see us, but they can hear us, hopefully. And if not, someone please do let me know. But hopefully all is well. And we are here. It's Tuesday, the 27th of August. This is Marlow FM. I'm Kelly Saywood, and I've got a lovely show lined up. This morning, I'm with Louisa, who I'm going to be chatting to in just a second. And then after 11 o'clock, I'm joined by Hannah from Hannah on Hands. So we will be speaking to her later. But firstly, good morning to you. How are you today?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm good.
Good. It's lovely to see you. You're all moved house now, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I'm in my office attic.
Oh, that's lovely. So you're local, and a lot of the work you do is local, but you've just very recently moved, haven't you?
Yes, I've recently relocated to Devon because most of the work I do is prep. And so I'm working from home. And then my plan is to get in the car every month and come to Bucks and to dance and do all the offerings that I have. And I drive around a lot anyway to work. So.
And that's nice, isn't it? Because you're in a place that makes you feel happy and you can still do all the wonderful things.
Yeah. And the ocean was really calling me. And the kind of slower pace of life. I'm nearly 50, and so I've moved into autumn, and my body was really calling me to tell me it wanted to not be in summer anymore. It didn't want to run so fast. It wanted to slow down, and I really wanted to honour that. And I think most of the work I do is in the prep, and so my vision is that I do all my prep in this sort of really, really beautiful environment by the ocean, out in nature, and then scoop it up and bring it back to Bucks.
And that's lovely, isn't it? And I think actually this is the Nature Nurture show because I'm really passionate about nature and all the things that it can do. And what you just said there, Louisa, was about moving into autumn. And I think all too often as people, we forget that our bodies too need to go through this process like nature to be able to, and preparation also, I just picked up on, is that we're racing to get to this finish line, to this thing, but there's so much magic in the preparation of whatever the thing is that we often just leave on the side.
Oh, yeah, it's all in the journey, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I even feel that about the journey actually from Devon to Bucks, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's a long journey. And it's like, only if you feel like it's dead time. For me, it's the most, I love being on my own in the car. I mean, it's not always that I'll be on my own, but I love listening to music. I find new tracks. I listen to podcasts. By the time I get from one destination to another, sometimes I don't want to get out of the car because I'm listening to some really inspiring conversations or really finding new music for the next step. So, yeah, and I always used to play the game of beat the sat nav. That was my life.
Yeah.
Beat the sat nav. Try and get there. Shave 3 minutes off of the journey. And I was talking to my daughter about it the other day, and we were like, why? Why did I play that? And she played it for a bit and then got a black box. And we're like, life is so much easier. So she said, you might shave 3 minutes off your journey. And I said, yeah, but you can waste that on Instagram, can't you? And yet, if you just sit back and chill out and enjoy the journey and have that as part of life as well, not that sort of dead time. So yeah, I feel like that about a lot of things in life.
I agree with you completely, and I was definitely one of those as well. Those racing against the sat nav and against time. And I love the car. I absolutely love being in the car as well, listening to music and audiobooks. It's one of my, as long as I'm on my own, it's one of my favourite places.
Well, I'm working on that.
Yeah. So for anybody listening, tell us a little bit about yourself. So did you originally grow up around the Bucks area? Is that where you...
Yeah, Hertfordshire, Herts Bucks border. Yeah, my whole life.
Oh, so you've always been around here. And tell us a little bit about what you do, all the wonderful things, and the reason, my main reason for asking you, not only do I love talking to you, but thinking about nature and nurture, everything you do sums that up for me. And I just think it's really lovely to talk about. So tell us a little bit about, freedom in the forest and the big soul breathe and all these wonderful things.
So yeah, mostly so basically I was an actor for 30 years, and then found just every part of my body didn't want to do that anymore. I found myself really being inspired by conscious DJing and really loving that, and had been to a few ecstatic dances and just literally lit something up in me. And I trained to be a breath worker 20 something years ago, when I was doing Holby City, and I had to be on it for 4 years. And I thought, how do I do this job for 4 years? And so I started training in a few things. So it's not new to me. It's just something that I never thought it would be a career. And that's purely because I was driven by money. And I couldn't see that I could make enough money. And part of me is still quite thrilled that I stuck with that until I couldn't do it any longer. My heart was just going, you just got to live your truth. You've just got to be the person that you need to be fully. And it wasn't until I stepped out of that world, shut that world, had this really messy crossover, as it would be, learned so much, a lot of the time through things sort of going wrong, got pushed straight out there. So learned a lot on the job. So it's learned by messing up. I mean, I'm constantly with my big kimono on, whacking the volume knob so that all the volume turns off. And I mean, I've been quite awful at it. But everything in my body needed to do it. And now I look back, and there's not one tiny little part of me that could go back to that life. It's just shown me who I am, and as I've been growing and unmasking, which is so important to me. And I didn't realize how masked I was as an actor. And I know that might sound really obvious that you kind of would be, but I was quite private as an actor. People knew characters, they didn't really know me. But I didn't realize just how a performance in my own life I was living. I had no idea until I started unraveling and taking the layers off and allowing myself to become more and more me. And starting Freedom in the Forest really was the main thing, starting this dance in the woods barefoot. And I create this wave of music that starts really chilled and help everybody to just drop into their bodies. And just, if they're really uncomfortable, if they're really inhibited, yes, brilliant, work with that, feel it, be in it. Everybody just goes, right, what's been going on this month? Where do I feel it in my body? Everybody just allows themselves to just be, no masks, no performances, just turn up as you. And if you're not feeling euphoric or whatever, that's okay. Just turn up as you. You're in your truth. And then we just start moving and allowing our bodies to move in whatever way they want to move. And there's no judgment. And we dance out quite a lot of the times in the sun. Sometimes it might rain a bit. There's all the beautiful ancient trees, and then the music picks up, and we dance all of the seasons. So and I say, don't just wait for summer, the high, mad, maybe 90s house bit, like that bit. Just dance it all. Dance the winter, dance the slowness, dance the discomfort, dance the sadness, and dance the joy. Dance all the feelings that come up in our bodies. And I think some people turn up because they think, oh, it's, a sober disco in the woods. And then if they stay, which they do, because it's such an awesome community, people realize that it's so much more than that. It's like proper medicine. And yeah, it reaches this big sort of euphoric, messy peak, and then it comes down, brings everybody back down, and then we all lie down on the ground, and there's some sound immersion, and we drink sacred cacao, so it opens our hearts. And it's just the most magical community, and it's helped me, just as much as it's helped the other people. I reckon more. It's completely changed my life. I had no idea what I was doing. I just putting one foot in front of the other and following what felt right.
But what you, I think, That's the most important thing, though, isn't it? Is that you've gone through this huge journey. You've touched on your acting career where you were behind a mask. And I think in life we do that, don't we? We take on a role, whatever that role is, like you in your work, and you become that and you get lost in it. And when you're stuck in your head in that way of thinking, we lose sight of nature and how to properly care for ourselves and our bodies. So by bringing yourself into that space, and I've been lucky enough to experience the wonderful work that you do, and it is beyond a sober rave, as you say. It's so much more than that. You're really feeling into, and the prep you do to take everybody on that journey. It's amazing, isn't it, when you actually start feeling into everything that's around us, and all the different things in the seasons, like that point of rest. And of course we need to get up and get things done and move. It's not just laying down and taking it easy all the time, but we do have to have that in our lives, don't we?
Yeah. And I think I'm learning more and more and more that when we can notice like the nature around us, and for me it's like what people would call the weeds. When we can notice, if we're ignoring the nature around us, we're ignoring the nature in our body. We're ignoring, we are nature, we are the earth, we're ignoring ourselves. And when we suddenly become awake to the beauty, the real beauty, and the nettles, and all of the mugwort, my favorite, all of like the dandelions, or just become aware of all of these as spirit, as more than humans. When we can become aware of that, I think that's when, that for me, that's when I can drop into the frequency, which is why I've moved here. If I can drop into the frequency of the plants, of the plant life, of the ocean, of the trees, I can really start to drop into my truth. And then when I make sets, when I make musical waves for dances, I will either consume some of the plant that we're working with, that I'll either have cacao if we're going to do a cacao dance, and I'll be barefoot on the earth when I make the set, so that it's a collaboration with the earth, with the medicine that I'm drinking. And then we've worked together. I call the music in. And I've been working more with mugwort as well, to start to, mugwort's really been showing me the music that they would like to what wave that they would want for everybody to come together in ceremony. So just I still don't even know where anything's going, really. I'm just to putting one foot in front of the other and seeing what I can't shut up about anymore. And then the next thing, there's a ceremony, and we're all there.
But I think that is the best way. And that nature aspect, that nurturing, I'm finding that myself, which is why this show ended up having this name, and why I'm really passionate about people finding their voices and speaking about all the wonderful things that are happening. Because so many people out there are struggling with different things, wearing these masks, like you say, not being able to express who they are, and nobody knows all the other wonderful things that are available to help them reconnect and listen and tune in and listen to these wonderful playlists and that you create to enable things to open up, and all these frequencies. I mean, everything's energy, isn't it? So it's so important to connect. And on the subject of that, we're going to play one of your tracks, which I've had a real struggle finding. The lovely John from Marlow FM has been helping me upload them. But for now, the next one we've got is Tell It to My Heart. Why did you choose this song?
It's just an 80s like song that I always love to sing. It's like when you go to a disco and you get on the dance floor, and you and all your friends, you've got all the like actions to it, and it just makes me smile.
Right, well,
everybody knows this.
We're going to give this one a listen. If you've only just tuned in, we have been talking about all the wonderful benefits for just slowing down, appreciating the journey, and connecting to nature. Good morning again, Louisa.
Good morning.
We've been talking about the wonderful work you do, haven't we, and how you got into that. And recently you've moved to Devon. So let's talk a little bit more about the dance, because I've mentioned this to Mary, one of the other presenters, when I was on their show, and she just had visions of everybody going crazy in the forest and, you know, things like that. And I suppose when you say ecstatic dance, people don't quite know what to expect, do they? But there's a lot to it. It really is a journey, isn't it? The whole process. So if it's okay, talk us through a little bit about what that looks like for you setting it up and what it looks like coming together, because I think people just think, oh, it's a load of people going crazy in the woods.
And quite often it is. And I actually don't like it says ecstatic dance on the posters, and I haven't changed them, but I have been kind of changing that word a bit, because I actually feel really strongly that I don't want to tell anybody that they're going to be ecstatic.
No.
I don't want the ecstasy that you can quite often feel when you allow yourself to go on this journey. I don't want the ecstasy to be any more important than the boredom that you may experience, or the deep pain that might come up. It's really, really important to me that all feelings are equal with no hierarchy. So I call it ecstatic dance because that's actually how a lot of people know that's like the most common thing. But people go, yeah, I know what that is, if they're kind of in the know. I try to say somatic dance, but there's such a wildness at the peak that it is. But anyway, I feel that if we truly surrender at the beginning of the dance, and sometimes it takes a little while to do that. Sometimes we feel really inhibited. Sometimes people really struggle to move at all at the beginning. They're like, oh, I haven't had a drink. This is really like embarrassing. And we've got headsets on that are really brilliant headsets. Everybody closes their eyes. We're in the forest. You've normally got the sun on your skin, but when you've got your eyes closed, it's not very long before you realize that nobody's looking. And then I facilitate the beginning. So it helps people to kind of know, like we're stretching out. You give them permission to stretch out your body, give them permission to move the body in different ways. And before you know it, it's like, that is the dance. And it's really important to me that people don't, well, when everybody, and I've learned this through doing so many dances, when you unmask, when you just become you and you've got no performance, and you're not like, oh, I went to ballet when I was whatever. You're not, no stories, none of those stories. You just are. And I think a lot of people struggle with just because they think, well, who am I? I'll be boring or I'll be dull. I'd rather meet that any day than a performance with somebody that's got layers on to entertain me or whatever. I find it exhausting. So when people just are, and they've just turned up, and they're in their space, and they're just allowing their body to move. And quite often I ask people to try and receive the music, to try and actually receive the music while they're standing still. And then just, how does the body want to move once you receive like the heartbeat of the music within your body? How does your body just naturally want to move? And when people do that and really move from a place of truth, unmasked, everybody's dance looks different. Everybody's moving in different ways. There's no competition. Everybody's dance. Everybody's just moving their bodies. And it's like, quite often I think we have a sort of negative connotation about the word dance. I can dance or I can't dance. Or, the hardest people to come along are the dance teachers, the people that are trained, because they're like, what do you mean? I just move my body. They don't have that. They struggle with that sort of freedom in the movement.
So many.
And yeah.
Sorry, go on. I was going to say,
it's just literally just people just allowing their bodies to just move, and then seeing what journey the music then takes them on, because the music is designed to take you on a journey through all the feels. It's designed to help to bring emotion up, and that could be a state of ecstasy. It could be like any pain. It's just bringing you into alignment. So anything that isn't in alignment with your body will just start to come up and shift and move, and it will want to be felt. And if we just keep allowing our bodies to move, we'll move it through. quite effortlessly, and sometimes I think quite euphorically. I actually really enjoy feeling the depths of pain. If I really am like, where do I feel it in my body? Not the story in my head. Oh, he did this and she did that, or that happened, but the feeling and the sensations in my body. Where's my body feeling it? And calling in the nature all around me and my bare feet on the earth, and knowing that as I feel this pain, I can give it back to the earth. I can give that pain. The earth will take my pain, and also all the while that we're dancing, we're grounding. We're allowing all of these frequencies from the computers and all of that to leave our bodies, and allowing all of the energy from the earth to come up through our body, which is just priceless, especially in this day where everybody's always got shoes on, and we're disconnected from our plug. We're not plugged in. So
no, I think you're so right, and there is so much magic in the work you do, and the ascendance, and you really are going through this whole freeing and releasing, aren't you? Because I like you enjoy feeling where the pain is and allowing things to move through. Now I'm brave enough to be me, but before it was safer to have everything sat in. And everybody wants the stories though, and the structure, don't they? So to let go, it feels so uncomfortable at the beginning to be able to be free. But the more you kind of move into it, I've certainly noticed watching all the wonderful work that you share with everyone. It's just so lovely that you hold these spaces. But I think when you do the more you just keep coming back to letting go and coming back, you are freeing and seeing who you are. And it's the suffering and the pain that drives us to do the next thing. Like you shared yourself, you went through a period of life masked up to get to this point where now you're doing all this wonderful work, and without that you may not have been here. So it all plays its part in it, doesn't it? Which is lovely.
Yeah, and it's all lessons, isn't it? I feel like the first part of my life, I just needed to learn what I needed to learn. And I don't think it matters so much what it is you're doing. You just need to learn the lessons. And I feel like I've had to learn some big ones, hard ones, like, and relatively quickly. I still feel like the universe is like, look, she needs to learn this. Just doesn't matter how, just give it to her. She needs to learn it. And quite often I think, oh, are you kidding me? Couldn't you have been a bit gentler with that?
I know. I was doing some work the other day, and I was reading, there were two quotes actually that stand out to mind, because I love writing and reading and then learning from like music or lyrics or quotes. And two things while I've been talking to you come up is, one is that if the flower isn't blooming, you don't fix the flower, you fix the environment itself. Mm-hmm. And it's like in nature that happens. We don't need to do anything with that flower, do we? It just needs the right conditions. And it's like us as people. So by being able to have the right environment, which is what you've done for yourself, and then you grow and you're just seeing where it goes, and you're in this correct environment to just keep blooming. And the other was about the meaning of life and the purpose of it. And I was recording something just the other day, and the quote I read was, the meaning of life is to find your gift, but the purpose of life is to give your gift away. And I just
I love that.
I think we need to do that, don't we? Whatever the thing is, because we're all unique and doing our own thing, but we then have to give it back out for other people to learn the lessons. And
I think a lot of the time that just is, our gift is just being our truth.
Yes.
Our gift is being our unmasked self.
I agree.
I think that is our gift, isn't it?
And that's where we find that happiness and strength and freedom, and can move through all the difficult times and the suffering far easier.
The more you show somebody that it's okay to just be you, the more you just be you, the more you show other people that that's okay here as well.
Yeah, and it's lovely, isn't it?
It's a relief.
It is a relief.
Exhausting. It's exhausting.
It is. So For those that have just tuned in, I'm Kelly Saywood and I'm here with Louisa Bradshaw White, and we are talking about all the wonderful things that Louisa brings into Buckinghamshire for other people to enjoy, to connect with nature and nurture themselves and just be free to be who they are, which includes, dancing. We've been talking about not necessarily using that word, ecstatic dance, but being free to move with your body, because people feel all emotions. And in life, we need to feel all those emotions to be free, don't we? For sure.
Yeah, really, really important. We've all been programmed to push it away, or we've all been programmed to, get rid of it. What, even like anxiety, what can I take to get rid of it? Even if it's like a supplement, even if it's like, what gets rid of it? Even whatever it is, whatever emotion it is, what will get rid of it? What will, and actually, do you know what will get rid of it? On listening to it, not the story, but the actual sensations in your body, and letting your body move with it, because emotion, energy in motion, allowing your body to move with it, but really, just feeling, literally allowing yourself to feel it, rather than, because I spent my whole life panicking about feelings and oh my god, how do I get rid of that? How do I work on myself to get rid of that, without really realizing that the kind of secret is just stop and to listen and go, what do you want? This anxiety, especially with anxiety, because that's when we've really not been listening to our body, not been listening to the sadness, not been listening to the pain, not been listening to the fear or whatever, and then it turns into anxiety. So it's just learning to drop into my body and not be scared of what we would call the negative stuff, but to see it all as one. Nobody would, I always say in the dances, don't rob somebody of their journey. Don't be going off comforting somebody, like giving somebody tissues to stop them crying. Let them feel it. You wouldn't do that if they were laughing and whooping about at the peak. Let's not rob them of any of it. Let's allow ourselves to experience the whole journey. And that really excites me.
It does me, because I think things are here to be felt. We want to feel things, don't we? But like you say, we're so often pushing things away, and it's taken me a lifetime. I mean, I've had a very big battle with anxiety, as you know, and that's why I've come on my own journey, and now I keep connecting. The more open I am, the more I connect with more wonderful people, like you, and all the different spaces. And I think community is so important, isn't it? And the more open you are, you draw in those spaces where you can be more comfortable with all these different feelings and know that it's okay. But unfortunately, the default is to not feel, not cry, not worry. That's what people say. Oh, don't worry, don't cry, don't feel. Yeah. And it's like, no. Do worry, it's okay. Yeah. Do feel it, it's okay.
Yeah. And if we stop ourselves from experiencing and feeling the sort of negative emotions that we like to call them, I don't think they're negative at all, then we also rob ourselves of experiencing, there's a whole spectrum of feeling. So if you just think you don't allow yourself to feel like the lowest stuff, then you also rob yourself of experiencing the highest stuff. The more you can allow yourself to experience the whole spectrum, and my favorite is just surrendering to it all. And it's a muscle. It takes time, but the more you can really go, okay, something's going on in my body. I'm feeling like I'm scared, and you just find it in your body, and you just allow your body to move, and you listen to your body. And the more we can do that, the more, the freer we are, and the more it's just, life is like this sort of wave of, I just think we just dance. We need to learn to dance our way through life, through any situation that comes up, anything that is brought to us, anything that comes our way. We're like, okay, I'm fully in. And I think the more that we can, one of the community said this to me, I'm probably not going to repeat it back properly. She said, my body is the safest place in the world. in my world, my body. And it's like, if you can, surely that's the ultimate. If you can get to your body being the most safest place, your temple, your body, and then anything that happens in life, anything that comes our way, it's okay. We've got it, because it's like we can dance with the pain and we can dance with the joy, and we're grounded and we're earthed. And nature. I think I was out having a walk a while ago, and I suddenly, as I was walking, this pain came up, and a memory, an old story, and it hit me with a bit of panic because it was big, and I thought, oh, I feel like I might need a therapist to talk this through with. And then I thought, but wouldn't it be wonderful if there was actually a therapist out there who wasn't going to receive what I had to say with their story. They weren't going to receive it because we're all just receiving something with like the story that through our eyes, with the story we've lived. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if I could actually go to somebody and be really honest? I mean, be really honest.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've never done that. And I've had a lot of therapy, and I don't know anybody who's really honest and really. And then I thought, and I heard nature say to me, well, just tell me, if you were at this therapist, what would you say? So I just started to say it. And I was out walking, and I was able to be really honest because I was out with nature. And after about half an hour of saying what it was I needed to say, I realized that was my therapist. The earth, the trees, the nettles, the grass just took it. The wind just took it, and I got it all out, and it had gone. And I thought, there's my therapy. There's my, because I can be really, really, really honest, and that's the only way I can move through stuff. The only way I can heal now.
That's so amazing. And thank you for sharing that as well, because I think a lot of people feel like that out there. And I found that with writing. You know, I write a lot of stuff that I feel I can't say to people. And like you say, people just want to get things off their chest, all these bad feelings and thoughts, which are just thoughts that are taking over. When they're moved through and felt, they are freed. And I think it's finding that way through, isn't it? And the power of nature, it's like the mountain, you know, it just sits there, that metaphor of the mountain, and people come and see it when it's sunny, but when it's windy and rainy, they won't bother going to see it. You know, it's like people, isn't it? If someone's really happy, people might want to be around that person, but if they're down, people might give them a wide berth. And but the mountain is just there. Whether it's rainy, whether it's sunny, it's grounded into the earth. You know, people come and go, different weathers hit it, but it's there, it's rooted and it's strong. And like you just said there about your body being the safest place, if we listen to it, it really is. And nature and all these things around us can really, really help us connect to that. That's why I think everything that you do is so amazing, because I think the freedom that you find in it is just so powerful. It's very scary to start with because you worry about judgment and all those thoughts come through your head. But when you actually listen and you realize nobody actually cares what you're doing, everybody's, you know, in their own head. It just,
and I think that's the key, is that we're all in our head. And so the dance helps you, and sometimes it is a little bit over time, but helps you to get out of the head, out of the thinking mind, and to drop down into our bodies, so that our bodies can move and our bodies can tell us what needs to move, rather than our head, our thinking minds that really, really get in the way and really like can mess things up for us.
They do. I wish everyone could see you, because you're very expressive with your arms when you're talking as well, as things are always moving through, but nobody other than me has the pleasure of seeing the movement in your arms while you're talking, which is lovely. Oh, but this has gone so fast. We've only got a few minutes left, and we're going to play out with a song. But I just wanted to thank you so much for being here and bearing with me at the beginning, because we had a few technical issues my end. You were just sat there beautifully and patiently while I was going out live on air when I shouldn't and worrying about the sound. But
amazing though, because I see you like me, like not really familiar with much of the tech stuff, and yet doing it anyway, getting out of your comfort zone because your voice needs to be heard. So you're amazing. Yeah.
oh, as are you. I've loved speaking with you this morning.